welcome to the. We was talking about everything going on in Ukraine, but again, this is about like happy hour. The Black Indigenous people of color wind down. This is where we've gone all day, and now we can sit back and talk. I'm Uncle Ray. I got Brother Dennis signing out here, and yes, we were having a conversation about Ukraine. I can't get by Ukraine. I just don't see a war just laid in here about something you can never own, possess, or it's going to be here even after you did.
What do you think about the State of the Union that our president did yesterday?
I thought it was. I thought it was. He did a great job on the State of the Union. I really did. I did watch it. Of course, I did. But I thought he was straight up. He did what he's supposed to do. Excuse people. Thought he did what he's supposed to do. I mean, it's only so much he can do and that he's in control of. How did you feel about it?
The summary.
Say what, my
I
love?
didn't watch it for the first time, I think, ever that I did not watch it.
Yeah, the first 12 minutes was the discussion on Ukraine because we're in that war, and the rest of it was, to me, I'm sure a lot of us felt different. To me, it was basic common sense and the basic rest of what we need to do to keep on pushing. I didn't hear anything that stood out to me. How did you feel, Dennis?
About voting rights?
Yes, he did make a mention about voting rights, things that need to be dealt with now.
Okay.
Yes, he did make that mention. Yes, he did. I can remember key point. Yes, he did touch on that. We didn't sit on it or nothing like that. There are things we need to do. It's pretty much, he went over the Build Back Better. He took out portions of the Build Back Better stuff that need to be done now. Because, you can't call it a Build Back Better because it's just dead. I'm just saying. But yeah, you brought it up, Daddy. I mean, you're not gonna say nothing to us today. It's Wednesday, hump day.
Well, when I listened to Biden, because I know he was vice president at one point. He did mention Barack Obama and how he's trying to extend some things that Barack Obama was doing, and try to keep up with classic politics. But I thought that he's trying to promise too much. I think, realistically, especially with the Republicans fighting them back, Democrats, they always say that they'll go so far, then they'll stop too. So I'm trying to figure out, if he's going to do this and say what he said, who's going to make sure we get it done? Because when he says infrastructure, all this stuff needs to be done, and to help people of color, how do you do it without no help?
Same way Brock did it.
And it's his job to lay the vision.
Right. He can only lay a vision. Yep. Go ahead, son. I'm sorry.
Saying it's up to the Congress to make the policy, and then up to us to force them to make the policies in a way that the policies are fair and equitable.
And basically implemented.
Right. And they're thinking about the unintentional consequences of these policies, because not all of them give us the outcomes that we really are hoping for. An example is like affordable housing and creating a bunch of projects. What are you doing for that community? You are concentrating poverty in one space, and then wondering why people are in survival mode and doing actions that, allow them to survive. That wasn't the intention of creating affordable housing. It was to make sure people had a place to live, but the concentration of poverty was an unintended consequence of that.
Right. And going back to the basic question which you asked about Biden is only there to lay down a vision. Whether everybody behind him takes on that vision and makes it happen, can't hold that against him. He did his job, is create the vision, explain it, and try to get it passed.
So you're saying that what he did and what he's saying is across the board, as a Democrat or as a person who's voting, by standing by him, that's how we get the vision done? Or is it something that he has to tell his people first, and then we all try to make that happen?
I honestly didn't understand the question you just laid out before me.
He lays
the vision, and we go make it happen. So if we
people.
really want paid family leave, then we sit and we have town halls and we rally people in community around it, and they call in these legislators and they letting them know, hey, we want this and you need to vote yes on this. And
But
then if they
local
don't vote
politics,
yes, vote their ass out.
Yes, this is not something that you can just blame all on him.
Right.
but I'm saying like as he doing the federal thing, you want to convince our politicians in our state to all get on board with his plan.
It's not just in our state. That's the thing. We got to do this all around the country. We need our cousins in Chicago and in Mississippi, and our friends that is all over in Philly and Florida and Georgia or whatever.
And you have the choice to agree with him or not. Right. He's only here to lay down a vision. This is where I, as the president, think we should go. Right. You have the choice of saying, yeah, I want to follow that, or I don't want to follow that. I mean, it is what it is. It is. Right.
What do you mean this is what it is? See, I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know, when he was talking last night, when he made this reference, it seemed like...
What reference?
He was making reference to things he want to do with our country. Where are we going to go? Now, I'm like, I seen half people stand up, other half didn't want to stand up on back and forth. But then they stood up on was the Ukrainian thing, where he seen both sides stand up.
Well, last year, both sides didn't stand up at all.
Huh?
This is the first state.
Say, is that your first speech? Because that's typical. That's how they do every president. The party not in power, they don't stand up for the policies that are for the other party.
The Democrats never once stood up for Donald Trump for nothing.
Right.
So they don't believe in that vision?
Regardless if they did or not, that is a partisan. That's a partisan tactic. Whether they believe in the vision or not, that's a part of this. Right. My party say don't stand up, you don't stand up.
That's crazy.
So that's something you can.
Okay, if a State of a Union.
That's him giving his speech to address the nation.
So aren't they a part of our nation?
Who, Congress?
Okay, I got some questions.
No, we're trying to figure out what you asking directly. Are you talking about Congress?
I'm trying to understand, like, if as a president, some of the good things you were saying about what you want to do, you would think that they would give jobs on both sides, whether you're Republican or Democrat. Some of the things, there's like even going, Ukrainian thing. I don't think the aggression, we should all agree on this. It should be a partisan situation where one side, that's crazy.
But that's America. That's America.
Well, I differ on the Ukrainian subject at this moment because they're not taking care of our people at this moment. So why should I care for Ukrainian?
No, okay, Bobby. Okay, listen.
It's the last great white bastion of hope in the world.
But it's not that I care about Ukraine.
No, nobody caught that.
I heard what you said.
That's why all these white Republicans supporting it. If you look around the world, Russia is the last place of the great white hope. All these other countries are diversifying just like America. They scared, y'all.
They do not want to be a part of that that lifestyle, that authoritarian stuff. They want to move around.
But I don't think it's about the Iranians as much as about democracy. Because, I mean, whether there's any tyranny in the world, like Martin Luther King said, listen, if you want to go over, what's going to stop him from going to another place that's, that's just as, you don't have as much weapons? Russia should be allowed to do this, period. It's not about caring about anybody. It's caring about our democracy, period. You can't just do what you want to do.
You cannot. You can't. Yes.
And you stop blowing up stuff.
I mean, white folks been doing it for white people been doing it for centuries. I mean, what are you talking about? We can't do what we want to do. Now that sounds like a program.
Something's got to give, Bobby. I'm just listening. Okay, something's got to give.
What's got to give? That's the problem. Everyone want us to give. Everyone want us to give up, just to submit. Why we got to give up something? We've been giving fucking shit up so fucking long. Why we got to give up something? It's time for them to give.
So the nuclear war affects the whole
planet. That's not
planet.
my problem. Until it hits this ground, That's not my problem. That's why I'm here to teach us brothers and sisters how to grow food and sustain just in case a nuclear bomb come here. I know where I will be.
If
I
a
will be
nuclear
right
bomb came here, don't worry about growing nothing because ain't nothing growing.
well, we will be up under the
We will be
ground. I
doing
will be
container
Yeah.
gardens.
yes,
Everything
thank
will be messed up. It will be
Hello,
all nuclear waste.
see, that's the problem. People just don't know it's other options than planting inside of a ground. This is
Yeah.
2022. If you're able to sit and hold a meeting on your cell phone at the moment, we can do much more. It's called hypoponic. Hypoponic. They do that. There's no dirt involved. There's just water.
You don't think the nuclear fallout will affect the water too?
If I'm underground, I mean, we supposed to prepare for this stupidity. You live in America. You don't know what she's going to do. We're the biggest bully, so everybody know. You think Putin was talking to the Queen of England? No, he said basically was saying United States. You tried if you want to. I'm gonna fuck you up. That's what he basically said. He did that. He just said he just put it in a nice way. You other countries. You other countries. He wasn't talking about all them other countries. He wasn't talking about Africa and all them countries in there. He wasn't talking about none of them. He was talking about the United States of America, telling us to mind our motherfucking business, something that we don't do. And that's not the black folks minding other people's business. That's the white people. Right?
Okay. I guess it is white people fighting white people.
It's been that way for centuries. They just enslave us and want us to turn a cheek.
Bobby, you're so mean today.
No,
Maybe
I mean,
let you ride in the front of the caboose.
Right. No, it gets irritated when you see this stuff happening, not only here, but you go across the waters and folks still treating us like shit. That is irritating when you look like the same people they telling them they can't get. How you think I would feel if they tell me I can't bring my son on a train to get to safety? You know what I'm saying? That's some fucked up shit because of my skin color. You understand what I'm saying? That's fucked up. That's fucked
Well,
up.
we
And I've been
know
saying
that
this.
there's anti-blackness across the world. It's not just
Across the world.
We know that. That's why it for one group to have that much hate, I don't know, makes me think they might be the chosen ones. I'm just saying. They said that we were the Israelites. I don't know.
So
They're just mad.
they definitely do it across the
And
board.
they're just
Across
mad
all
because they
continents.
are mutations of us. That's it. They just mad because they're mutations of us. That's not our fault. You understand? It's not our fault you don't have a drop of melanin in your body. That's not my fault. You wasn't blessed. It's not.
So with that same thought process, you have no empathy for anybody else.
I have empathy for everybody. I don't want no one hurting. I don't want no one harmed. That's the way I was raised. I love everybody that's breathing on this earth. But the problem is I don't have any more cheeks to turn.
What did you call them? Genetically mutated?
How you doing?
That's the
Okay, I'm
phrase.
just trying to think of another name. You know, we had colonizer from the Black Panther, and now we can call them, oh, you genetically mutated motherfucker. Like,
Genetically mutated.
Call them shit. Okay.
That's how you
Wow.
feel.
Next,
This
we're
is-
gonna have to get some picket signs. We're gonna have picket signs in a minute in DC. They probably already there in DC with picket signs. Look, they gave away billions of dollars, billions, and they couldn't even let us sit at home for a fucking year to get away COVID. To bring COVID down. They had just gave some other white motherfuckers billions of dollars to save their economy. But you couldn't take them billions and set us home for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, to make sure that your country is fine. We're the only country that has not done that yet.
Well, I don't think they're gonna be doing it anytime soon.
And we ain't doing it, but go Ukrainians.
Bro, I don't want them
Does
killed. I don't
Ukraine
want
have
them wiped out.
universal health care and stuff? Like they have all that stuff that we don't have.
The whole planet has the stuff that we don't have. They don't have the big pharma like we have. That must be taken care of and called.
Billions. You hear what I just said? Billions. Billions can done a lot of things for the for the American people. Billions. I ain't even talking about reparations. I'm talking about billions. You can take 1 billion in poverty, house all the people that's in this, that's homeless at this moment. Billions now. Talking about billions. They didn't give $1 billion. They gave it with an S. But we got people that's on our corner in Minneapolis, Minnesota, that's cold and hungry now. But they giving Ukrainians billions.
Well, I mean, that was the same thing when, like, they helped the refugees from Afghanistan. Like, I do believe that we should have helped people, but you can't bring tens of thousands of folks here and just immediately house them. And like you said, we got thousands of folks already here living on the streets, and we can't seem to figure out a way to house them. And
well, most of all the Ukrainians are not coming this way. They all going, they staying all in Europe. They're not trying to get here.
Not yet.
Right. And then you got people laying on the
they open up their doors and house these people right away.
You the people
why folks don't like immigrants.
Then you got places where they make the money in Washington, D.C., where people land next door to the fucking White House, on the footsteps of the fucking Capitol, and so forth, so on. But you're giving away billions. You walk over people in Washington, D.C. And this is facts. This is factual shit. You literally walking over people with your $3,000 shoes on.
Well, those people is that by choice that they're laying there? Or by circumstance? There's a lot of people out on the street by choice.
Some by choice and some not. Some by force. Just a hiccup.
The rent too damn high.
In DC, fuck yeah, 1 bedroom is damn near $1,500, and that's in the hood.
And ain't nobody paying more than what? $15 an hour. Even if you were to add that up with $1,500 rent every month, do you got
a lot? Wait a minute. How you gonna get a $1,500 rent when you got to make 3 times the amount of rent? We know you don't make 3 times the amount of rent.
So, question: how many jobs you need? And they keep asking me, am I coming back on the East Coast?
How many jobs you need on the East Coast?
You need more than one if you got to pay $1,500. Sure ain't McDonald's going to pay that.
Well, no, definitely. Well, they trying to kill it there.
Transportation, because, you don't want to have no car there. It's like probably harder to maintain a vehicle.
In DC.
The fees you got to pay to park, and they
don't have street parking. Is there any street parking in DC?
Yeah, it's street parking in DC. There's street parking all over Washington DC, in the alleys, sidewalk, all that. But you got to worry about metro. You got to worry about the food that you eat. For $15, it's not enough. You understand what I'm saying? It's not enough.
No. It takes at least $25 an hour to barely make it.
And that's not. And half of the government people not getting that. You got government workers that works in DC is basically damn near poor them damn self. You understand what I'm saying? So it's basically whoever is brighter than you, because your pay rate go on your color too. You know that, right?
What do you mean by that?
Some jobs do hire depending on what you're doing. They do hire on how dark you are.
Well, is that because you're in certain areas?
No, your pay rate can go on your color, or they would give you $15, but give Steve $22. Same resume, same experience, just different color.
Actually, no. You probably had a couple more things better, but you were just too dark.
You just dark. You don't fit the profile, the look,
the profile, and that does happen in 2022.
Wow!
But there's no such thing as systemic racism.
Systemic? They say it doesn't exist.
So those are the 2000s, not the 1900s you're talking about.
All this, it's never changed. It's been like this forever. What are you talking
They've
about?
been doing this since the 1900s. Shit, they've been doing this
They
since
was
the
doing it
70s.
since the 1800s when y'all got banned out. When they wrote the laws.
So you don't.
1881.
So nobody feels we should be helping the Ukrainians instead of we should be helping
I didn't
ourselves.
say that. I didn't
Oh, I
say
didn't say that. I definitely
didn't
don't
say
feel
that
like
at
that.
all.
I don't like to see
I just
any
said
person oppressed.
we should have every humankind. But I'm just saying it's just fucked up how they treating people that look like you and I over there. You understand what I'm saying? It makes you have.
They wasn't letting them on the bus.
They wouldn't let
They
them.
wouldn't let them on the bus. And they tell them they had to go back to the back, and we'll come and get y'all on the next round.
They wouldn't even
And that was
feed
4 days ago.
They
And it's
not feeding
freezing.
people.
So you
It is
said
freezing.
in Romania, they also treat.
I don't know about. We don't know about Romania. We don't know anything about Romania.
We
We
talking
are.
about Ukraine.
We in the Ukraine right now. Ukraine and Russia, but primarily in Ukraine, going into Poland.
So they're still discriminating against other people there.
If you dark,
Hold on, yes, even the Poland people turning this away.
I don't know about that. That part I
Oh,
didn't see.
no, that's been going on too. That's all on social media. They right there at the border and they telling them no. Yeah, Poland is doing it too. They all doing it. They
So
all
everybody-
like China said we must be the chosen one.
They had their quota of black folks now.
Can't get too
All
many
the
of y'all
countries,
in one
they
place.
had their quota. We can't go. Can't get no more.
That's so ugly. Why is this? Why honestly is that like that across the planet? What did we do? What did we
are
do?
the chosen ones.
The people that started civilization. If just think about it. If they come and they done took all your shit, your creations, and the things that you were able to work with the universe to create, and turned it over, or no, I ain't gonna say turned it over. They stole it, made it seem like it was Greek folks that was doing this shit, and white
Which it
people
wasn't.
doing shit and creating these things. They do that so we don't know who we are. I do truly believe there can't be, and I'm not like a Bible person, but whichever one of y'all do be reading the Bible, isn't there some kind of scripture in there about some folks that's constantly being beat down like
Yeah,
this
it's Israelites. But
for
also
no reason?
The Hebrew slaves.
yeah, the Hebrews. But if you look at it too, they even try to they do so many things to make us feel stupid. Like for instance, the statues. You ever notice all the statues' noses are gone?
The pyramids.
All statue
It's not
noses.
just there.
They don't. They knocks them off the nose because if they left them nose, and you see how big of a hole it is. You see how big it is. Their nose was like yours, Dennis, big
Our
and wide.
noses are very distinct.
You know what I'm saying? The nose was like mine, big and wide. You understand what I'm saying?
Question that was a black person, right?
Right.
You couldn't question
I see
it.
where you go with that.
Then you look at the hair texture of all of them. You feel what I'm saying? They just tried to, they just did it all.
Well, I know, because I was told that they're trying to make your hair kinky, or like perverted kinky, where our hair is not kinky, it's curly.
Right.
Depends on who was telling the story.
So you got kinky hair, Ray?
To all the black people I know, no, not at all.
Okay, most of our hair is kind of curly.
But if it's told about to somebody else, say like a Caucasian, they'd probably say something different. It's whoever tells the story.
But I mean, is it kinky like perverted?
I don't know what that means. Our hair rises to the stars, rises directly up to the sun. Our hairs are the only ones that grow straight up.
And
Well, like
there's
Samson.
Samson didn't grow straight up. Nowhere in the Bible it said his grow straight up. His grow down his back and got long. It didn't grow straight up like ours. Remember, ours going like an afro. Ours grow up straight. No help, no nothing.
Just like the grass do. Just like trees. Just nature. You understand? You see how the trees grow?
That's why we go straight up. Yes.
I said, keep on
Yeah.
talking about that divine connection to the universe and that oneness that's within us, because we are what?
That's
The universe.
yes.
But people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? People are blind and not willing to learn. You know, they're stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I just wish just folks just wake up and put the picket sign down.
What?
But you want them to get out of the matrix? Most of these
You-
people don't want to
So we
leave the
shouldn't protest.
matrix.
We shouldn't protest.
You can
No.
protest all you want, but unless you're gonna leave the matrix, it's gonna stay the same. That's what the matrix is, to keep y'all in control. Yell, scream all y'all want to. But if you're not willing to get out of the matrix, it's gonna stay the same. And that's
How
gonna
you get
take a
your point
lot.
across if you don't picket or stop traffic, do rallies? What? Let them know. How do you convince them or let them know that you mean business?
What does mean business?
Question. Okay, they beat up Rodney King years ago in the 1900s, right?
Yeah.
They rioted a little bit, but we had a lot of picket signs, correct?
Mhm.
But fast forward 2020, they did it to George Floyd. Our kids, the next generation up under us, did they listen to them? Because they damn sure didn't listen to us. But did they listen to them? To the point where they went all the way to federal and fucked them. You understand what I'm saying? Which would have never have done if we would have grabbed the picket sign and was marching. It came to the point where the whole world was behind us, behind them, because I didn't break nothing at the moment. You feel me? So is it
Just
different?
shutting down the train or shutting down the highway or doing that doesn't count anymore.
What does it count to do? What in your book? What does
I
it
wouldn't
count?
say that it doesn't count. The issue is anytime change has come inside of a system, it's because there was pressure from not just the outside with the protest, but there was inside players as well.
Yes.
If we don't start to, for me, I took from the matrix that you do have free will. And so you can choose, if you are going to be here, to try to, get inside of these systems and work it and change it that way.
That's how you got to do. You got to be a part of the system to change anything.
Yeah, you got to do both. It's not a or. You
Right.
need to protest, and you also need to have people inside that can
Right.
make decisions. Because all of our budgets show you what our priorities are. You can look at any city government budget, county budget, state budget, federal budget.
Has it itemized on what they think the priorities are?
Their priorities are, and it ain't Black folks.
And again, I mean, protests and all of that, yes, it lets people know what the voice of the community is saying. Yes, true enough. But again, if you don't have anybody on the inside pulling those strings, pushing those buttons, or even moving something out of the way, they hear you. They hear you. That's all I can say. They heard you. But nothing's getting done. You got to get somebody on the inside. You got to be on the inside of the matrix to change anything.
You gotta get these old. You gotta get these pioneers that's in there right this moment out of office. That's going to be like 102 almost. You got people that been here since the centuries. Man, just get them folks. If you over 50, no, if you
But
over
we still
60,
need people to step up to run.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. Who do you have to replace them?
Step up to run.
Who are we
they gotta
replacing these
give us
people
the
with?
opportunity to do that. You see what they doing for the first Black woman? You understand what I'm saying? What
do you mean?
The headache they buying getting for putting the first Black woman on the judge's seat.
She gonna be confirmed before the end of the month. She's already in the house.
We understand.
And she's been confirmed 3 times before.
We got that, but didn't he get a bunch of feedback about that?
He gonna get that anyway. That's just the nature of the beast.
They put
That's
up.
But that's because it's a bunch of old racist Southerners people on
Right,
it.
so he was gonna get that regardless.
And that you have to have people across the country. Those folks represent areas in this country where people do not vote. Period. When you got 60, 70% of the 18 to 25-year-olds in the state that are not voting, what do you think, how you think you're gonna change something? Somebody gotta get out there and talk to these young folks. And however, teaching them the importance of it, like what that connection is.
Right,
The
because at this
connection
moment you don't have
in
anybody to
their life.
replace anybody. Yeah. I'm sorry, but you don't have anybody to replace anybody if we're not teaching them.
How do you make them interested?
Start teaching them, just like everything else. Teach them. Teach them at home.
I think
Always
you
keep
use
them on their
money.
game. Say what?
Yeah, I think you use money.
Yeah.
Teaching them
You know
now,
what I'm saying?
telling them now about it. What are they gonna? What are you gonna teach them? Because it's gonna go in one ear and out the other.
You teach those that want to learn. And if
Well,
the more
actually-
you teach them, the more they can, and that more connects.
Today's generation ain't even trying to hear none of that.
You'll be surprised.
It's a lot of young.
You'll be surprised. There's a lot out there. How do you think Minnesota almost got burnt down?
So, Bobby, what age should you start talking to? What age should that be at?
This should
2 years old.
Kindergarten.
Hold on, let me say something.
Kindergarten.
2
Yes,
years.
because no, literally what she just said, kindergarten.
We
Because
have a
that's
bill
what
at the
we was
state.
taught. That's what I was taught in Washington, D.C. In elementary school, we learned about U.S. history, D.C. history, and government history. That was automatically in D.C.
All
That was an
throughout
automatic
school.
thing.
Yes.
That was something that we had to learn from elementary up to high school.
We've had
And
a
you
bill
couldn't-
at the state of Minnesota for 15 years asking for civics education in elementary school. So that by the time this kid is 18, it would have already been ingrained the importance of it. Now, I ain't
And
gonna
knew
say
what
we're
it
gonna
meant.
get every
Yeah.
single one of these young 18 and 25-year-olds right now. I ain't gonna say we're gonna get all of them, but we'll get some of them. That was
Yes.
proven by who showed up
Interested in
in
it.
Georgia, by who helped them win that last election, was young Black people.
If they
They-
teach history and civics the way that they taught us, oh well, then of course they're gonna be.
Well, they don't think no. I think a lot of things need to change from how they taught us because they lied to us.
Of
What
course,
they lie about?
You know, they that we was the century where they gave us all those books that the mothers of whatever the bitch was down south. You know what I'm saying? We did all the books. You know what I'm saying? They whitewash history literally, and that's what was taught to us. We the ones now is being awoken because we didn't know. Because they was teaching us this shit. They was putting black and white pictures up that just happened in the 70s when we had colored pictures. You understand? Making us feel like, oh, this was years ago. And
Mhm.
and this was just yesterday.
I'm glad we
Yeah.
grew up in the time of Conjunction Junction. So we always had Schoolhouse Rock, and we knew what was going on because we knew what it be. And we're 100 years old now, and we still know the song to the Conjunction Junction when we were kids. That's how you get people get people interested in what you do. Keep it fun. Keep it something they can remember.
Yes.
They'll take it throughout their lives. Because
It
for
has
what
to
little
be
civics
fun.
we know, for
Has
what
to
little
be
civics
fun.
we know, we can remember the songs about them.
Yeah.
and that's just how you're gonna teach them.
Yeah.
If you make it fun and interesting and something that something that they can say, oh, okay.
I remember that. Yeah. Right.
We talking about as a child. We're not talking about an 18-year-old. You understand?
It can start anywhere.
You started,
So we do
however, as a
still,
child.
we
What he
do
is saying
engage
that
18-year-olds. Now, I
he
ain't
is
gonna say we
saying
don't.
what
We still
Yeah.
work to engage them.
Everybody, because it
what
can
that-
click
what-
in.
what Ray was saying by the conjunction stuff. We was raised on a cartoon that taught us about what a bill was and different things like that. They don't have that anymore here when we was growing up. They don't have that now. You feel what I'm saying? Our cartoons was more informative. You know what I'm saying? Telling us how to do stuff. Now they're teaching you how to shoot and other things. I don't know. I haven't watched cartoons, but my kids watches about 1, 2, 3 and ABC. You know, so
I like SpongeBob.
I don't even watch that. I know.
But yeah, I mean, you know, civics is a big thing, and it needs to be. I mean, it just needs to be in something that we as people engage in on a regular basis, so it's not something that's out of the ordinary. Because
And they
again, like I
also
said, if you can't change anything if you don't know something about the subject.
they
Can't
need
even
home
make it
economics.
different.
They took all the good stuff out of school. Home economics. They don't teach a kid how to do that. You know, they don't do
So
cursive
why
writing.
would they teach you how to
Huh?
take care of yourself? Why
Say
would they
again.
teach you? I said, why would they teach you how to take care of yourself? Why would they teach you about how to use your power, that you got power?
Right.
Why would they teach you that? So they can continue to control you.
Control.
They didn't teach us finances. They should have taught us that at an early
That
age.
should be in school too. Kindergarten on up, pre-K, whatever, all the way through.
Wow.
100%. That is how it should be. But this is the time of reflection when we know these are things that we know we can change. And as long as we are teaching our kids now what we didn't go through, then we can make that difference. That's how you make those subtle changes. That systemic, nothing can change anything because as a culture, we automatically teach our kids that. Just like going to church, should be teaching them how to do your finances.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Go down and read 2 scriptures in there and make sure you know how to do them numbers. Come back and talk to
Become
you
a
when you're done.
legislator
You know
and
that you
join
brought
the
up.
education committee where you're making policy around the education for your state.
Right.
Or become a school board member where you're making policy around education for your district. You could change some of those things.
By being a part of those environments, being a part of the school board, your local school board,
You
being
have
a
to be the
part of,
decider.
yeah,
Or the
to make those
PTA.
decisions.
Or the PTA. You can go as that way too. You know, they listen
Yeah.
through there too. So there's many ways you can do it. Because I don't want to be a mayor.
So why is it more important to go to church than those other things? And be more civic engaged.
Well, I'm not going to get into the church thing at this moment. You know, because that was whitewashed too.
Okay.
But now what was your question about the church? Because it's Hump Day Wednesday. I'm just saying, it's Hump Day Wednesday.
Well,
What was
no,
that
because I
question
mean,
again?
it seems like it's more. I was told
He
that no
trying to
matter.
fight.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
trying to
Hump
fight.
Day. I am. Come on, Daddy. Come on.
I was asking a question.
Yeah.
I was told, you know, no matter what, no matter where you should always go to church. You don't care if you got civic engagements, you vote all that kind of stuff, you should still be in church. That's where it all ends up at, that your life is going to mean anything if you go to church. Forget civic engagement, forget protesting, forget anything. If you go to church and pray, God's going to take care of it.
Does it change votes on the ballot box? Don't that take bodies to do that?
And I'm pretty sure a lot of politicians use this church.
Right, and I'm sure that the politicians are sitting in that front row and they wouldn't vote it. They did that and
Especially,
came back. So
especially if you're in a state with a mega church, they want that church to be on their
right,
side.
because I know TD Jakes makes sure his people go to vote.
Right.
I know his people go to vote.
He's gonna make sure they have buses and everything.
Right.
That's the things that we need to be
And
talking
be
about.
setting up and sitting in the parking lot, making sure everybody check in to go vote.
That's the
If you ain't
things
got
that
no
we
ride.
need to talk about. You know, do the things that we done in the 60s and the 70s when we stopped riding the bus down in what Selma, wherever we was down there.
Can you teach us some of the things you did back then?
Right. So they,
Please, Bobby, teach us. Can you teach us some of the
no, I'm
things you
just
did back
saying,
then?
we was helping each other out. When Sister Butcher, that's the church. When Sister Butcher didn't have a car and she had to get to work, their brother went and helped her and took her to work to make sure she didn't get on that bus. What I'm saying is now they're trying to make it hard for us to vote. We need to come together and make sure our fellow man get to the voting polls some way, somehow.
We do that.
Yes.
More.
Even if we have to have a party and walk to the
We
voting
always
polls.
need volunteers because
Right.
there are groups that are calling and knocking doors and talking to
And
people. all the
right, and
time
holding up
throughout the year.
education. Yes.
Well, that's good. How you do it?
We just
That's the
need
goal
more
of
'cause
ours.
they can't
Yes.
hit everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why the more people that are providing this type of education, you know, nonprofits are a great example of who can and should be doing this civics education for their clients.
And definitely in Minneapolis and St. Paul, we definitely need to take that project on 100. Because it's not that we need to guide anybody on who to pick and choose. They just need to know what they're picking and choosing for.
And
Yeah,
where
who
they go
lying?
get
You know,
information
not
about
because,
who they're choosing.
right.
Exactly.
Not just because your friend, oh, somebody said go in here and go push this button. No, you go in there because you know what you're doing. I mean, that's all it is. It's only one job you got to do. Know who you're doing it for. That's it. And we can make changes. We don't have to accept what's been going on because we can get people in there that know the deal. We don't have to just vote what they give us. We can be a part of the voting system. That's how we get in and make those changes. That's how it's not always about everybody else. It's about us too, because we actually got people in those positions.
And like I said, you got to reach out to your family, your friends in other states, and making sure that they are voting too. Because it's simple math. You
100.
win a policy vote by having the majority, even if the majority is one vote.
You
So
win.
50 senators, what is it, 200 and something, 300, how many congressional folks? I don't even know. It's like a lot, 400.
It's about 420
400
something.
and something. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's simple math.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the majority, you win, your policy passes. And as long as your president is from your party, 9 times out of 10, they're going to sign the bill.
All you just got to do is get up and ask them. Just go in and talk to them. But we have to have people in those positions to talk to. Because I don't think like a cracker is going to always be there to sign your bill because it might not do any good for them.
I got some sardines.
Mm-mm.
They might not want your sardines because they're too dark. They didn't
And
come
all
from that other
crackers,
dealer.
all
Mhm.
crackers don't go good with sardines. Only the saltines.
Yeah, I like
There,
saltine crackers.
see, there y'all go picking and
Um,
choosing, picking and
yeah.
choosing.
Y'all
All
heard of
right.
Lundstrom Performing Arts Center? Or Performing Arts
Lundstrom? What state is it in?
here?
Oh, no.
Oops.
I'm trying to figure out how they got my info.
Google. You haven't Googled them yet? You know, that's the first thing we do is Google people.
I did. They having a gala.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
And they felt that you was fabulous and they want you to be there for their gala. They want your fabulous there.
But how did you get my info? That's what I'm trying to figure
They
out.
called up all the fabulous people. You are in the list of fabs.
How you doing?
See, that's all about. See, what's wrong with being on the list of fabs? See, there y'all go. Even KMOJ had that out there today.
Hey, what
And so you know, the real question is where we get our cards at? Because where I get my card
what card?
to smoke medical marijuana.
Oh, man, so now able to smoke medical marijuana. How you doing?
But you just caught up with us.
I was too busy reading this gala.
Oh.
It's real flour you can smoke now. Not the oil, not that CBD, real
Flour. This is first step, and the next step is just let it go. You're just gonna make it a revenue. That's how it should always be. Let's start using hemp for production.
Well, it also would help. It would give the state a lot of money to put towards
right.
schooling.
Yes, make it a revenue.
Listen.
Infrastructure.
Make it an incoming revenue for the state. That is the best thing for it.
the way that it's currently set up, we are not collecting any tax dollars from this.
No, and they should be. They should already be setting that process up and just go
No,
ahead.
don't use that salt
Because
right
liquor's
there.
gonna lose out. I mean, everybody still drink a little, but not as much
That
as
salt
cannabis.
right there, don't move up. That salt right there, he trying to run past. Don't use that salt.
That's salt.
Yeah, that right there. That simple right
No, you do use that if you're trying to keep
there.
people out
No.
your house. You put a letter up the front door right across the thing, and then throw an onion out your good. That might be too much for you. There you go. Don't ask too much questions. I'm just helping you
Don't
out.
eat that salt. Use sea salt. You know, get it fine sea salt or
This
Himalayan.
is where to raise your blood pressure up. Then start let that little girl blow away in the wind. It raises your blood pressure, mess your diabetes up.
Y'all you got to touch it. You know you're supposed to touch. Let me shut up.
You see, I'm trying to save it. It'll be right in front of you. You can come in and and follow on you.
Let me shut up.
You have a high IQ if you recognize this.
Yeah, because your IQ is going with your age. Because we all over 20, and we know what that salt can look like.
I know it's so iconic that everybody immediately seen it, knew what it was.
Why you didn't believe that? You knew what it was.
I was looking at this for the marijuana messages. That just popped up on the screen.
Right, but still, you knew what she was when you said, "Oh, I know who she is."
Well, you know they always say it's got to be a Caucasian involved, so you know.
No, stop.
You know they put that up there to make sure it catches your attention.
Did you just draw that X on there? Or is that just me? Is that X always there? Oh. I was like, did that X always there?
He just did that, but you're right. That's the way. Put the X on it. No.
You're right. Did that X just pop up there? Or is that mine? Is that too much Wednesday?
That's so mean.
Sorry, I was playing with the pen.
Playing with huh?
Oh, we got a person just sitting here just listening. Hey, Milton. Milton's A32. How you doing?
Well, hello, Milton. There was another person on here too. There's a couple of people that's been on here tonight that didn't say hi, hello, nothing. But hello, Milton.
That other young person contributed.
All right.
How you doing?
Wow.
Well, we had Milton. Before we go, what are your thoughts on the war in Ukraine? Because we see your spouse has strong thoughts. How do you really feel about it?
That's why he was actually.
Can I get Milton this time?
He just told you he was in the shower, sir.
Okay, Milton, what do you think about the Ukraine war going on?
From the shower.
He in the shower now? I thought he said he just got out of the shower. Oh, God damn. He can tell us in the shower. Wanted dead or alive. That's got to be false. That no. Because if Putin found out, you got to contend with him. That's ex-KGB. You can't fuck with Putin like that. He can take. He is 8th degree black belt. You can't take him out like that.
That's not even enough to get me interested. You need to put
You need to put a T. You need to put a T. A T on that bitch. $1 to $2 trillion to even try to go after Putin. Oh hell. He is himself is an 8th degree black belt plus ex-KGB officer. You need to be protected from him. That's the one you need to be worried about. That's gonna say you're gonna need more than Electra and a Violet to go get his ass. You're gonna need you're gonna need more than what the vampire chick.
Put that picture back up there. That's Dr. Fauci's cousin.
Shit. Well, Dr. Fauci, no, because Putin is one of the richest men on the planet. He's not up there with the first three, but he ain't far behind.
Oh yes, and then half of them are what they was Nigerian, Sina.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the big money is not on this continent. They're not on this continent.
Yes,
big money's on the other continent. Yeah, they're on other continents. And Putin's in there with them.
I'll be
Then you got
taking
other
applications.
They taking applications.
Yeah, for many Nigerians, that would like to get to know me.
You taking applications? I better get in there and give me an application in.
Yeah, from the Nigerians.
We should go visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. There, I'll go with you. I'll say that loud and clear.
Don't even
I'll go to Nigeria.
Oh, lies you tell.
Not
Next
that
story.
you ain't said nothing about. I got my
ain't getting
passport.
into this.
I own a passport. Hello, I own a
getting into
passport.
I ain't
I
even
got
getting
mine.
into this back and forth with you where you
Ain't nobody going anywhere off this continent. I don't like this rock. I've been everywhere on this rock. I'm trying to get to Nigeria. I'm trying to get to Fiji. Y'all who want to go to Fiji?
I'll go to Fiji.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Who want to go to Dominican Republic?
I do that too.
Me, guilty. Just saying. I'm going places like that. Yes.
I even want to go to Scotland.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you. We can take a 14-day cruise on vacation season.
I want to try
do that.
One of them pies, one of them whatever they call it.
Mince meat pies. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it. We talking about leaving America. Yes.
With a Jaeger of beer, with a thing of beer. Yes, I gotta do it the way they do.
Yes, you want with a pint of beer, of beer and a minced meat pie, which is rabbit.
I eat rabbit. I eat rabbit.
Oh, man, I'll do it. I'm in. But I can't do haggis. Haggis.
What is that?
Haggis is it's some kind of meat. I want to say lamb meat or something, and they put it in some kind of intestinal bag or something like that. And it's a delicacy over there. Haggis. Google it, haggis. They'll tell you haggis. It's not my thing though. I've seen it made many times, but haggis is a main dish over in Scotland. Haggis. Would you eat it?
I tried.
I mean, I have to try because I'm there.
No one's gonna tell me. Don't tell me what it is. Oh, it's haggis, and you just told me what it was.
Well, no, I'm gonna say. I mean, if he said haggis over there, I'm gonna eat it just because I'm there. I'm sitting here.
We're gonna get one plate. If it's me personally, I would get one plate and 6 forks, and let's try.
Let's try it. If it's good, I'll get my own by myself. But yeah,
correct. You get me? That's how I like to try.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll do it. I'll try everything.
Like you like it? Okay, that's fine. I just did. It wasn't my thing, so.
Right.
But I'm open.
And move on to the next, and we'll move to the next.
We'll move.
I still want to go to Dubai, and I still want to go to India.
Oh, I'm cool with Dubai. I'm fine.
I'm gonna go. Why you don't want to go to Dubai?
Because you can't. They say something's a law about you drinking.
It's a bar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, as long as don't say nothing about me smoking, I'm good. I'm gonna smoke right there with them.
The lady got locked up getting off the plane because she got drunk on the plane.
Well, that was her fault.
Mm.
If she'd have smoked, she'd have been fine the whole trip. She could have went to the bathroom, cut the light on, and been smoking all the way there.
Oh, bro. Imagine that. You could have had edibles. You could have been sitting there.
You could have been sitting there. You could have ate M&Ms all the way there.
All the way there.
And nobody said nothing different. Edibles all day. You could have fell off the plane, but as long as you didn't touch no alcohol, you'd have went right on home.
You went right, okay.
Yeah, you'd have went right on home. Ooh, excuse me, I just tripped. Got to right on out of there.
I don't go nowhere. I can't have no cocktail.
Right.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of people that think that's devil juice, and y'all don't need to be doing that.
Back away from dark liquor at this moment.
It ain't so. Now there you go. Colonized. Now you see you want to be colonized. Now you're trying to
go because it's much healthier.
Oh, there you go. That's what they told you. You must go to Ellen G. White. Yeah.
No, it's the truth. Tequila is a plant.
Mm-hmm. And brandy is a potato.
Great.
In a barrel.
Alexa, how was brandy made?
It ain't with sugar and spice.
Oh, they use wine for brandy.
See? It's made out of grapes.
But it's more sugar.
It's made out of grapes.
That's fine. I love grapes. I got a big bottle. I have a big many bottles of grapes in my and blueberries in my
right, berries. So
yeah,
you can have plants, I can have berries.
I drink wine.
Yes.
You drink wine.
I prefer you don't like Australian wine? Australian wine is the best to me. I don't like French wine.
I like liquor straight.
Oh yeah, I can do the liquors. The liquor is a lot quicker, and I need everything to slow down now.
I know a lot of people that like liquor.
I don't slam it. I sip it.
Yeah, you sip.
No, I rather smoke that than sip it. Right now, well, maybe a good crown.
You see, I do it both. You smoke and sip. How you do it? You do it like a DC thug. You feel what I'm saying? You stand on the corner and you smoke and sip all day.
That's how y'all do in DC?
In your Timbs and your drop socks.
You stand on the corner and drink and smoke all day.
Go in the alley playing spades. You sipping and drinking and smoking.
You know what? They just repealed that law, Bobby. That's lurking in the street. We just got rid of that law. We can't do that here. You saw the street.
Did I say Minneapolis, Minnesota?
Oh, yeah, we couldn't do that. Y'all be lurking.
You're not from the East Coast.
I didn't say nothing about this mayonnaise place. I didn't say anything about that.
Only in DC can you lurk without having problems.
You can lurk here now.
Now
in St. Paul you can, but you can't in Minneapolis. In St. Paul you can do it.
St. Paul is
Melvin lets you lurk in St. Paul.
St. Paul is cool. They even got a black mayor. You know, they cool. They hip.
Shout out to Melvin.
Yes, Melvin is talking. They did it.
And they giving out reparations in a way over there. They cool. Minneapolis
Now that just proves our earlier points. You got to get somebody in the door. You got to know what they're talking about, and then you can make changes happen. See, Melvin in there.
Be a committee talking about reparations in St. Paul for the people of the Rondo community. If the mayor wasn't black.
Hello.
Well, I'm gonna move to St. Paul. Get some of that.
And you gonna move to St. Paul where you can't do it in your own village? You scared to do it in your own village, Dennis?
I don't know, but it's already being done.
In your village?
I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel.
You can't go to somebody else's village and collect on their funds. How you figure you gonna do all that? I'm gonna just move over there and get this stuff. They're not letting you in like that. You gotta get your own. That's why I say you scared to get it for your own village?
I know some people.
You know some people.
They know some people.
Well, I invite everybody out there in viewing land to learn some people. Holler at us at the POC Pride. We're gonna teach y'all civics.
No,
we're gonna move this around. We're gonna move and change some things around.
We are by supporting our people. Whatever you may need, support your people. You understand? We are now everywhere. They are taking interest in us and what we do. You can go to Target now. We have a whole section of African American, Black-owned things there. We have food on shelves, goodie, canned food. That's Black-owned. Then you got this sister just got her hair care line into CVS. You know what I'm saying? Start shopping however we may do on Etsy or whatever to support our people, put our money back into our neighborhoods. That's how we can move up. You know what I'm saying? So that's my announcement for today.
I think that's awesome. Yes, I think that's awesome. Shot Black, it can be done. It's not like you got to go out anymore. You can get somebody to bring it right on into you.
You can shop on TikTok. You can shop on TikTok. There's a lot of people on TikTok, like Belinda by India. Love her product. Belinda by India. She do all natural soaps and herbs and teas and things like that. Love her. Did I give you some
All
stuff,
right.
China? Did you try it yet?
I have not.
Yeah, it's real good. It's real good, especially the Zulu,
All righty then. Well,
including my stuff.
try it
BLG.
and try it on there.
Hold on, including my stuff, the BLG skincare products. You understand? It works, doesn't it, Dennis?
Yes. I
You
do.
know,
You know what? Whatever that stuff was, the yellow stuff you gave me.
that's 100% untouched shea butter mixed with from other oils in the centrals.
Now you know what? I had the roughest feet on the planet. I've been using that stuff, and I'm like, all that stuff that's gone, and it's becoming like smooth like a baby's butt almost.
And then I just came up with a product that will help you with I'm a big dude, and I get them heat rags, get chafed. You know what I'm saying? I came up with a cream that helps you take the bumps away. You won't feel it. None of that. Yes, I really did. And it works. It works. For those that got them thighs that rub, don't feel bad. I'm about to put it on the market. I'm just making sure I understand,
Thunder thighs.
and I have some thunders.
Well, thank you for those thunder thighs. It's after 7 o'clock. Thank y'all for joining us for the BIPOC Happy Hour. We'll be back again on Friday. Y'all take it easy. Wear your mask when you need to. Get vaccinated if you haven't. Peace out.
Get your booster.